Richards was that you're not the oldest. For some reason, I thought you were the oldest Dale.
No.
Of the brother Dales.
No, Bruce was the oldest.
All right.
Yeah, Bruce just turned 50, as a matter of fact, back in January.
And then
I'm 45, Kevin is 40, so we're all 4.5 years apart, essentially. But
we got 3 in my family, but it's like 18 months, 18 to 24 months in between.
Right.
Well, we got crazy years. I was born on my brother's birthday, and then my mom had another kid, and then had twins born on his birthday.
That's wild.
Ovulates twice a year.
Yeah. Both my brothers and my dad are all January birthdays. Me and my mom are September birthdays. I share a birthday with a cousin of mine, September 4th. We both had the same birthday. It's very weird.
I got a nephew like that, October
That's a lot,
15th.
guys.
October 15th. It's kind of cool. I like it.
So you're October 15th, and he is. It's cool.
1960, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
That's right. Been through a few
I'm
things.
72. And you're, what, 88 something? 87?
Close. Wrong direction.
89.
Yep.
Okay.
89.
Well, you got the Richard Mallett running poster.
Does it give you inspiration?
No.
No?
It's our inspiration. We love
I did
it.
run cross country in college and in high school, Brevard College, junior college.
Really? I didn't know that.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
It's convincing. Hey, I meant to ask you, this is totally off subject. Is it a full moon tonight? Because we were driving around when he picked me up. And
It's close.
It's pretty close. I
It's
know
close.
it's a waning. It's
Yeah.
not a waning, right?
Am I allowed to look at my phone? 'Cause I'm
Absolutely.
going to. Good.
You can be our fact checker tonight if you'd like, if you're good at it.
Uh-oh. Did we get a new intern?
Pretty
We
good.
might have an intern, Gordon Peters.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I did a little, looking up a little bit of information on the Flanders Red Ale.
Yeah, I got it all pulled up on Untapped, all the stuff. I mean, it
yeah.
doesn't have a lot of info in there, but
I
we'll
went
get
to
to
some
that.
other
Don't get ahead of us.
because
Well,
it was different.
I'm glad someone looked up information. I feel like I flew in here like a headless turkey.
Yeah. What are you doing? You were looking up something. You
I
stopped.
already got it.
Oh, what is it? What
Oh,
you got?
as far as the moon phase?
Yeah, the moon.
Yeah, oh, here, I got
Because
that.
Richard was saying something to me earlier in the week at work about the moon and the tides and stuff. 'Cause we were talking about going kayaking. He was talking about the current was going to be a little heavier because of the waxing moon or the waning moon, some shit like that. It was getting closer to a full moon, so the tide was going to be...
It's waxing
heavy.
if it's coming up. Let's see. We got
waning is going away, waxing is coming in, right? Yep.
Yeah, let's check. Moon.
We
Okay.
do so much education on the
It
show
is-
every episode.
It is actually full tonight. Full.
Tonight is a full moon.
Full
Called
moon.
it. Actually, I did.
Moon
I
rise
just
at
wondered.
7:47, so
We were
that's
supposed to go
already happened.
kayaking today, too, and that would have been great.
That would have been a great day. Absolutely. Better than sitting on a train.
Yeah, we should be out there right now.
The next
actually.
new moon is May 15th, in case anybody really wants to know.
Right.
You want to try going that day?
And just for reference, today is April 29th.
Yes. And
Full
we
moon.
finally got Gordon.
Yeah.
I mean, let's mention that. We got Gordon Peters here in the studio with Taco Marine.
Taco.
Right? Is that how you want to be introduced? The Taco Marine guy?
You know, I mean,
I feel like-
that's who I work for, and they're a good company. Started in 1959 in Miami. So,
In Miami.
yeah.
Okay, I did not
Kind of
know that.
ironic because I was born and raised in Miami.
Right, you're hitting all my points here. 'Cause I was
Fourth
gonna talk about
generation,
that.
born and raised.
We've
Oh,
already knocked off like
snap.
3 topics already.
1888 when my family moved down there.
Wow.
And you got involved with Taco Marine down when you were down there?
No, that was just I was started in the marine business with Scout boats back in 1994
Okay.
when they were in an old plant in behind the old Fort Volunteer Fire Department up on 78, and started on the production floor actually, and went through a lot of different jobs. And at one point, I shared a desk with the owner's wife, Diane. I sat on one side and she sat on the other, and it was tight. Close quarters.
Right.
but no, it was fun. Enjoyed learning the boat business, and then I've just was hired onto into sales back in 2000, and I've been there ever since.
Nice.
So enjoy it. Enjoy the boat building. It's great. Somerville's kind of a mecca of boat building. There's
Really?
like 250 boats a week made by 5 companies within a 2-hour radius of here.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about boats.
I don't either.
I'm not a big deep sea person.
Well, it's not necessarily a deep sea. I mean, it's
not?
any type of boat, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a Stingray up in Hartsville is more of a runabout, although they're doing. Everybody's kind of gravitating right now to coastal style fishing boats because it just seems to be where the market's going with outboards. So.
Yeah. So how does you mentioned Scout? I forgot all about Scout, but how do those both kind of play together, Scout and Taco? I mean, what's the difference between the two? Does Taco?
They're an OEM manufacturer. Right in this area, you got Scout, you got Key West, you have Pioneer and Walterboro, Sea Hunt and Columbia, Sportsman boats owned by Tommy Hancock. He and his brother built up Sea Pro up in Newberry.
Right, but Taco is not a boat itself.
No, Taco is an accessory manufacturer. We make high-end helm seats. In fact, we do most of the helm seats for the big boats for Scout, and then we're doing helm seats for Sportsman, for a bunch of builders. Pursuit down in Florida, and then we also do rub rail. We do all kinds of accessories. So we manufacture parts that I work with engineering and the boat builders and sell them to them. They assemble the boats, and really the only thing they actually manufacture is the fiberglass, the hulls and the decks, all the small parts. Then everything else are just putting it all together.
It's like a big old Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to compare it to the automotive industry, but it's really not. Just from the sheer volume of units. I mean, it's really a small industry. So anyway, but it's fun.
Well,
that's what it's supposed to be about.
You always
boating,
look like you're
fun.
having fun.
Yeah.
So we'll give you that much.
How about the kayaks? So kayaking we did this summer. That was awesome.
We've talked about it a couple times on the show.
Yeah.
And we need to do another one.
Yeah, because the goal is to go both the North Fork, South Fork, from its sources all the way down to
Confluence. Confluence?
Well, no, the confluence is where the North Fork and the South Fork come together.
Right.
Those two.
We're trying to get there.
Then from there, we're going to go all the way down to the ocean.
Right.
So.
And the confluence is what? That's where the Edisto, the Cooper, and the Ashley all meet? Is that what that is?
Well, that's the confluence of those rivers that kind of form the peninsula of Charleston. I mean, you have the Wando, the Ashley, and the Cooper. Mm-hmm. And then, the Edisto is part of the Ace Basin, the
right.
Ashpoo, Cumbie, and Edisto.
I'll tell you what, before we get into that, because I want to get into the trip that we did, the 20-miler or whatever, and some of the other trips we did an 8-miler with a bunch of people, but I think we should open a beer first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't have to ask this time.
All right, well, I was on it. I was just waiting for kind of a break to
actually
kind of get into it. So,
and I didn't want to interrupt Gordon either.
What do we want to start with? We're going to drink 3 beers tonight, and they're 3 pretty big beers. So,
should we leave it up to the
one
guests?
is 7%, one is 7.2%, and one is 10.2%. So it's a big one, but it's a smaller bottle, the 10.2. So
that's the.
I think we should start with the Rodenbach because that's it's a Flanders red ale. Flanders is essentially Western Belgium area.
Right. So I got the magic bucket down here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do before we get started, though. I'm going to plug this thing in so we can get all angles of the thing. So
I think that's great.
Talk amongst yourself for a second. I'll be right back.
That's a 2012, right?
Yeah.
So we got a vintage. It's one of the best. It's where I kind of got started on sours with Brian Dales up at Homegrown Brew House.
Oh, wow.
We went through a bunch of those, everything he had at the time.
You talked about this beer so much, and we've been sitting on this for... Well, I guess Brian's had it for a good while, but we haven't... it's been cooled for, was it a month? Less than a month? How long has it been since we started this?
You tell me not to talk when I'm over here, so quit asking me questions.
Did I tell you not to talk?
Yeah.
I don't remember doing
shut
that.
Up. You walked away last time when I walked away.
Hey, man, sometimes I don't know what happens. This thing is stuck on here more than I am trying to peel the price tag off so it doesn't
You don't
ruin
need
the
to worry
shot.
about that. I would worry about getting the cage
All right,
off
so,
and
so we
cork
got the
out.
other
and
we got the
let's-
other camera going. We got two
let's drink
cameras.
it.
We're going to get the close up. But yeah, I think we depleted the entire stock of Rodenbachs at Homegrown Brew House. He had 2012. He had 2012, 13, and 14.
I
Maybe?
think so, but the 2012 is.
But the 2012 is by far
is really
what we
good.
wanted. You
Yeah.
good?
Oh, yeah.
And
Go
it's,
ahead.
and it's kind of, it's a red ale as opposed to another Belgian, Old Brood, or Old Brune. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but which is more of a brown.
Right.
And I know they mix young and old beers. I mean, and the other main component of it, it's aged in either foeders or casks. And,
Do you want to explain to everyone what a photo is?
It's oak aged ale, single barrel sour ale from Flanders. It's a limited edition. It's no longer in stock or no longer being produced by the brewery. 7% ABV, no IBUs listed. Probably not very bitter anyway. Average rating of 4.19. And you can talk more about it if you'd like. And this is out of Belgium.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rodenbach is actually the name of the brewery and the family that
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a just in the family kind of thing, huh?
it's a little town
Okay.
that's kind of
Put this on the floor.
north of Roubaix and east of Dunkirk, which I think people probably know just mainly
Oh,
because
from the
there's been a
movie that just
movie
came out,
like
right?
recently.
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
about Dunkirk.
I haven't seen it yet.
Good movie. And then
Yeah, I've heard it's very
also the Darkest Hour or Finest Hour.
What a rich
Gary Oldman.
color.
Yeah.
That is just fantastic.
And again, I'm going to have to top everything off because I didn't quite put enough in everybody's glass.
Hey, man, I think you did a good job.
God, that's good. All right. So this is what we got. And here's the cork.
Before we cheers and everything, can you do me one more favor?
What's that?
Something that I forgot to do. Can you cut that light on?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
It's very creepily dark behind you in the camera.
All right.
Living
Yeah,
in a cave.
we kind of rushed in here. Caleb was out of town in Winston-Salem.
Yeah. No, Burlington or Greensboro.
Greensboro.
Technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did go to
Somewhere in North
Winston-Salem.
Carolina.
I hopped around to some breweries. I didn't hit as much as I wanted to, but I found some really awesome places, and I'll bring that back up later on. But the train took forever to get here. We had a delay because someone was stuck on the tracks, and it was just
Yeah.
Plus Amtrak, it's like they're going to make a lot of stops.
a lot of stops.
At least you didn't derail and crash.
I thought about that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think I would die from that.
I mean,
but-
I don't think it happens often, but it seems like you hear about it happening often.
Usually when it happens, people are dying.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So you're lucky to be alive.
Oh man, I thought for sure I was
part.
gonna be safe inside that thing.
All right,
Looks
so we're going to
good.
cheers to Gordon Peters finally being
Finally
in
being
the
here
studio.
at the
I should
Craft
get that.
Conversations.
Yeah,
I like that.
We're going to do a cheers.
Yeah, I know. Brain's frazzled, man. I fasted all day,
I
shoved
know.
food in my mouth.
It's been crazy.
All right, everybody.
So, to Gordon
Cheers.
Peters in the Craft Conversation
Craft
Studios.
Conversations.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Flanders Red Rodenbach 2012. Smells so delicious.
That is good. Got that vinous quality, kind of like that sours have.
Yeah,
It's
some
really good.
great kind of
wine.
plum, some kind of cherry. Just a
Oaky
nice
finish.
medium body sour, not too overly puckery. Very balanced, smooth.
Yeah, it's got some a
But
sweetness
you
to
know,
it.
I mean, we've always talked about this being one of our favorite sours, but and we're going to talk about this more, I guess, with the other two beers that we got coming out. But now that I taste it over again, there's been so many other things that have come out
Yeah.
since we've last had this that
Interesting.
kind of overpower this now, I think. I mean, it's still great. It's fantastic.
It's
I don't
sweeter.
know what my rating is on this, actually. Probably a 4.75, I think, on Untapped.
Yeah, we never really talked about our profiles on Untapped.
Yeah, I'd have to go through and look at it, but
And this is traditional as opposed to
Right.
the next two that we're going to do.
It's-
traditional in terms of, it's kind of where the style
it's one of the
originated
originals.
from.
And,
Right.
I can't remember the last time we've had one, probably a year ago, maybe. So it's aged for another year in the bottle, so maybe some flavors fall off. Sometimes some flavors pick up, but it's still fantastic. But
It's got somewhat of a boozy smell, but you get none of the, in my opinion, boozy body.
No,
Let's
absolutely
see.
not.
I have 4 check-ins on it, which I've had more than 4, but
Right.
and I gave them 4.75s.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was 4.75 or even a 5. Maybe sometimes we drank it, depending on when we drank it. But it's still fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how these other 2 beers kind of shape up to it, or not shape up to it, but match up to it. Shape, match, same thing, I guess. Maybe not.
I can definitely tell that it is not the same as New Age sours. It has a certain, I don't want to say texture. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say here, but it doesn't punch you in the face with the sour as much. It's more balanced, I think.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
A little bit sweeter on the tail end.
Yeah, it's not as puckery. Was the word I used.
Rodenbach's been around a long time, so
It's extremely good and well worth the wait and hype so far. Absolutely.
Can you read that on the back? I mean, do you want to read that? That's much more description of what's on Untapped. If
Rodenbach, the exceptional Flemish red-brown sour ale of mixed fermentation, takes on its unique character by maturing in handmade oak vats, some over 150 years old. This exclusive limited edition vintage by Rodenbach, 7% alcohol by volume, is the result of a 2-year aging process in vat number 170, resulting in our finest ale produced. Enjoy its unparalleled sweet and sour palate with a complex aftertaste.
yeah,
Which is spot on.
Yeah.
because they blend that with fresher beers before they bottle it, and it was when I was reading about it, it was kind of interesting. It's apart from a lambic, which was an older style, which was naturally fermented. They blend yeast and different, I guess, strains of yeast. And I think that's where the next ones that we're doing with Carolina Bauernhaus in particular is they take that to another level.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you say that? Is it Barnhouse? Is that what you just said?
Bauernhaus.
That's kind of what I try.
Bauernhaus? Maybe?
It's a very...
I don't know how you say it.
It's kind of an
fun.
old
I just say Barner
English
House,
spelling.
but I think that's
of it.
way off.
Yeah.
Dude, you say Barner?
Barner House. Yeah.
You just threw an in out of nowhere in the mix of that.
I like it though. It kind of it's a good
Bauernhaus.
twist. It's a good twist on it. It's kind of like a southern draw on it.
That's what I was going to say about Bauernhaus.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So that's who we got coming up next. By the way, we got two of those guys coming up from those guys. So
yeah,
excellent. That's a good choice. I mean, I've been waiting for this beer for however long we've been waiting for Gordon, but it's been sitting in there just tempting
Wasn't just me
like,
now.
Like, oh, I'm going to open it.
That's true.
I've thought about opening it many times because I know another place that has one, and I was just going to drink it and just go get another one.
It's not the
but
same.
No.
Actually, you know what's funny now that I realized, to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Well, you just said it wasn't just your fault, and now tonight makes it every one of us has caused an issue with this. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What did I do?
You were sick that one time.
Yeah, you were feeling a little iffy.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you don't know how to rest
I wasn't sure
when you
how
are
my
sick.
voice was going to do or something, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good decision all the same.
Right.
And you were
then
sick
Gordon
one
had
time.
some kind of food poisoning or something, supposedly. And
Harsh.
Never
word.
say you're hungover. I had food.
And then-
I must have eaten something bad.
and then we had to train, and I've been sitting here all day saying, this is not going to happen. Just the mystique of it, and I figured just for shits and giggles, Gordon was going to back out, and we are going to prolong this again. But
No.
No,
here we
made
are.
It. We made it. I'm excited. What a great way to finish off an entire weekend of drinking for me.
It was a beautiful day today too.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It looked nice from the windows.
Late spring in the Low Country.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, did you do anything in the weather today?
I did. When I woke up, I live downtown Somerville. Woke up this morning, went out in the backyard, pulled a chair out there, and just sat there and read the news and kind of chilled out in the sun and
Listen to the
What's
birds
happening in the
chirping.
news?
Yeah.
Anything exciing in the news?
not.
You gonna bring news into this?
I mean, if you want to bring
Well, he brought it up.
it, well, we'll hold off
There
on
might
that.
be something exciting, like a Amtrak train crash or
Not
something.
on the weekends,
Oh,
they
come
pretty
on.
much dump everything that they want to dump on by Friday, and then it's just, it kind of gets rehashed with all the Sunday news shows.
About the comics. Is that Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday comics. That was my favorite day of the week when the Sunday paper came out. When you used to get the paper delivered, right. You maybe still do, I don't know, but a lot of people, my parents still do. They still have the paper delivered. But
that was my first job. Delivering the paper.
I did paper delivery as well. I had a little motorcycle, a Honda C70, and I would roll around Pepper Hill neighborhood and I'd throw out newspapers.
I had a bicycle.
Man.
I had
with a big giant basket up on front, and pannier baskets on the side, and you're like, and if I can remember more than one time where you're throwing a paper and it goes somewhere it shouldn't have gone, and you go to retrieve it, and the bike falls over, and you got all the dang papers are out of the basket, and you got to stuff them all back in there. It's a nightmare.
Wherever I threw that paper, that's where it stayed. That's probably why I didn't do it very, very long. But yeah, I'd be at the house and my parents would help me fold the papers and put rubber band around it, whatever. Put it in the cellophane.
Oh my gosh, you had to do all of that?
Yeah, you had to package it all up together. At least we did.
I thought it was delivered.
You just got a stack of papers, wrapped up in like twine or whatever, and you had to package it up so it didn't get messed up when it rained or whatever. We'd put it all in the basket, and I'd drive around and just toss them out.
You always wanted to do rubber bands. It was a lot faster than the plastic. But in Miami, especially this was the evening paper back when that was Miami Herald was the morning paper, and the Miami News was the evening paper, and they've.
Oh yeah, morning and evening.
Yeah, and so this was the evening paper, and so it was always smaller and everything, and you wanted to just throw a band on it, but. Miami's weather, a lot of rain, especially late afternoon rain showers.
3, 4 o'clock afternoon
showers.
Had
to put the dang plastic wrap on them.
Yeah.
Rough life.
It was a good time, but I have no idea what the money was. I have no idea what I made delivering papers. I could not tell you to save my life right now.
I don't think I've ever heard wages of a paper delivery boy.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't remember, but it was not much.
There used to be a video game. Do you remember that video game, Paperboy or something, or Paper?
Really?
Yeah, it was a guy that you just controlled him rolling around on a bicycle, and he was delivering papers and stuff.
Yeah.
And you got points for how accurately you threw the paper out to the driveways and stuff. Yeah.
It was training you.
I can't remember. I'm going to look that up.
So what were we talking about before we started pouring beer? It was kayaks, right?
Oh, yeah, kayaks.
The Eddystone, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do some crazy kayak trip.
We've had some good ones. I mean, we covered a lot of territory last summer.
Yeah, we did
15 to 20 miles at a time. Yeah, the South Fork, way up past Bamberg, I think was some of the. It was beautiful.
I'll interrupt real quick. Paperboy, it's a video game, is a 1985 arcade game developed and published by Atari Games.
Good old Atari.
Good old Atari, man. So this is kind of a screenshot of what the screen looked like there.
Oh my gosh!
You just rolling around delivering papers in the neighborhood and stuff.
Will you make
that's an old game?
Will you make a note of that we need to show the screen?
The Paperboy?
Yeah, I was listening to the podcast today, going through a couple of them. Actually, listening from start to finish, which I have not done yet.
And observing them, or just listening?
I was just listening, and I realized that there's a lot of things that we mention. Oh, throw that up in either the comments or up on the screen. Well, because I don't sit in there and listen to the entire thing, I miss that tiny little section.
Well, and that's the thing I've been doing here lately. So I've got Paul's episode, and I've got Clayton's episode where I made some notes of stuff we need to put in the show notes and stuff. So
perfect.
Whatever. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get there.
Now, have you actually done some of the first podcasts online at this point? I know.
Everything's up. I mean, all the way through episode 5. We've done 5 episodes so far.
Richard's was the last.
Richard was number 5. Richard Mallet, that released this past Friday.
Coastal Coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and listen to him constantly and just try and decipher where we have improved and what we've done better and make notes and whatever. But anyway, kayaking.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't been ages. It's been a really long time since I've been on a kayak. Too long, really. I mean, it's a little bit more difficult when you don't own your own. But, I mean, you could just rent one because like Richard said, Esto Adventures has kayaks to rent. But
Earl.
Did you get a haircut?
I did.
And a beard cut? You got everything trimmed up, it looks like.
Yeah, I did.
I just noticed.
I wanted to give a shout out to the guy who cut my hair, and I searched through my bags for his business card, and I cannot find it. And
That is piss poor.
I want to say his name is Daniel, but I'm not exactly sure.
This was up in North Carolina?
Yeah. So my brother gets his hair cut by a dude, and he's like, let's go see him. So we went up there, and he was busy, and then another guy had a cancellation, so he cut my hair and trimmed me up, made me look nice so I wasn't so much like a hobo. And I was like, here's my card. I'm going to give you a shout out. So I'm going to have to figure out what his name is and correct
Definitely
that.
looks better.
You might want to put that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to figure that out and give him a shout out.
Yeah.
And you've got a Ninja Turtle shirt on.
My brother,
That
Brian
matches the blanket.
Yeah, man. Like I said, crazy Ninja Turtle fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the VHS right over there.
I emailed my mom when I was leaving, my mom and my dad when I was leaving Holy City. And I know we're talking about kayaking, but I just noticed the haircut. But I emailed my mom because I was telling somebody about the Ninja Turtle when I dressed up as Raphael. We talked about it last episode. And there's a picture of me somewhere, but my parents don't have it. So I had to try and find it. It's somewhere.
You got to play private detective.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I had a good time. I dressed up, and I didn't have the right weapon. I had nunchucks, and I think Raphael is the size or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had nunchucks because that's all I had.
Michelangelo had nunchucks.
Yeah.
Well, you
That's
could
my
have carried
favorite.
So I was
sword,
Raphael with
but
nunchucks,
that'd have been
but it
probably a
was
problem.
pretty badass. I had this huge freaking helmet, one of those huge
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle helmets, and I had the thing on. I had my nunchucks, and I was burning up, and I was taking pictures with all the kids when they came into the video store, and I was out front at the street, waving at cars. I mean, I loved it.
You had a turtle shell on the
The
back?
best thing ever. Had turtle shell on the back. Yep.
I've had a turtle shell book bag.
Didn't go that far.
No.
No.
That was way before that.
Yeah.
It was more Batman and Robin.
Well, that's awesome,
Oh,
When I was,
too.
That's a good
Big
thing,
fan.
too.
I didn't
elementary
realize for a
school.
long time that the first Batman movie was directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Well, aside from Adam West, but
Right.
I did not
Michael
realize
Keaton,
that he
the
was
first
the
two
first
Michael
one.
Keatons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's awesome. Like, what a way to start that kind of visual concept.
He did a great job on it. I mean, it was very comic booky, I thought, versus The Dark Knight and some of the stuff that's come out since then, which is great. But that one had just that comic book feel to it.
Yeah.
The darkness and the colors and kind of like Gotham. The TV show Gotham is very comic booky, I think.
I like it. Took me a minute, but I got into it. That's what she said.
But back to kayaks. Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, I think
We always do it. That's what she said, I think. Or a
Do
couple
we?
times at least. We've done it a few times.
Stop talking about ourselves, Brian.
Richard got me back going into kayaking, and I think I met him up at Edisto Adventures one time, and then
Right. And
you and I went.
shout out to that guy. I mean,
yeah.
Earl's doing great business down there. He's got a great location, a great spot.
Oh, it's
Edisto Adventures.
perfect spot for that.
Oh, it's
And
perfect.
Julie. Can't forget Julie.
Who?
His wife.
His wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know her name. I've met her. Obviously, she takes the payments and stuff like that. And is very nice, very friendly. I love her. She's very accommodating.
Good place to take out, put in.
Right.
They helped us out, dropping us off once or twice.
That's nice. I like that part a lot.
But it's just a fantastic spot, man. The sand volleyball court, and it's got bathrooms there. It's got a nice pavilion. They got almost a full kitchen right there, right? I mean, they got a grill, they got a stovetop, they got refrigerators, lights, everything.
You know what we should do?
What should we do?
We should plan a Sunday where we go to the junction for brunch and then go kayaking with Earl afterwards.
All right, I'm down.
Or we don't even need. I mean, we can use his place. He'll let you.
Well, I need a kayak, so.
Oh well, then
Well, and that's a good point. When are you going to buy a fucking kayak? I mean, you're always borrowing.
Well, I
Richard's
actually
kayak,
have a
Brad's
kayak, but unfortunately, it's down in Miami at my
All right, that doesn't help
sister's
us that
house. It doesn't help us at all.
Well, you got to go down there quite often.
I do. And
I think the
kayak
first,
down there,
I think the
out in
first
bay a lot.
podcast he was supposed to be on, you had to do a trip to Miami. I think.
Yeah, I
You
go
had
down
to take
there
off or something.
about every other month.
Yeah.
Oh, that was way more often than that.
It depends on the time of year.
Well spoken.
So,
But yeah, we did an 8-mile trip, which was about 4 hours. We went from Mars oil field down to Earl's, with 7 or 8 of us, right? I mean, it was me, you, my brother, Jordy, Sean, Steve.
Oh no, that was up. That was
further up.
That was further up. Yeah, because that was.
I thought we
we were
finished at
gonna
Earl's
do
and
that.
we dipped out at Earl's right there. We jumped in the water.
No, we went way up, and that was the question because we weren't sure who was going to, if, I don't know the level of everybody's kayaking at that point. And we weren't.
That's
sure,
right. We had
sure.
3 different vehicles that toted all the kayaks and everything up there. Yes, you're right.
Sean went with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know where exactly we put in, but did we end at Mars Oil Field? Or we
No.
went past that. We still went to Earl's, but we went further up.
We ended
than
in
Mars.
Denmark.
Because I think Mars is a 4-mile trip, and we went 4 miles further up.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah.
It was.
We did a bunch of trips last year.
Some of them were way up there. It was more.
You and I did the first trip from Mars
Yeah.
to Earl's, and we stopped at that one sandbar with the rope swing, and we did.
Yes.
No, Bruce was with us that time as well, wasn't he? There was 3 of us that trip.
Yeah. On that one.
That trip. That's the one I'm
Bruce
thinking
has done
about.
a couple with us.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. And then we did the big trip a little further up. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we did the big 20-mile trip, you and I. That was just outrageous. I mean, I told you about the hatchet I got in my kayak to get through brush and stuff. That was the trip that we needed. We had a saw out there. We had a hatchet.
A lot of
We weren't
porridge
even
and-
a half a mile into this 20-mile trip, and we thought we were goners because his daughter, Annie, dropped us off, and then she pulled out and left, and our vehicles were at the put-out point.
Right.
So we had 20 miles before we were going to have a vehicle. We had no cell service, and we were
20
going,
river miles.
20 river miles.
yeah.
Yeah. And we were about a half a mile in, and we came up to this one point, and the current kind of took us into the trees, and then we came back around and got into this impasse where we couldn't get past. 2 or 3 huge trees just falling over the river.
We're sitting there, and a tree falls.
Yeah, a tree falls in the woods.
We're hearing this thing, and it's like, what is going on? And it's a tree that just decided to let loose.
Yeah.
And
How close to you?
So you do hear it when they fall.
Luckily, it wasn't close at all. But we just heard this popping going on, and we're like, "What the fuck is that?" And all of a sudden, we just heard pop, 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 and then just, and this tree just falls down in the woods, and it could have just fallen right on top of us.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It was,
But yeah, we're at this impasse, and we had to kind of chop our way through. And like I said, we were half a mile in, and we're like, this trip is going to suck because we were already.
If we can get back by dark.
Yeah, we were already going to be.
Oh my gosh.
Competing against time to get back before the sunset, and we had no lights, no anything. We're
You're going to Earl's, right?
Completely dark on this thing.
You were not going to Earl's.
No, we weren't going to Earl's.
So he was not going to come searching for you.
We were going to back to
shit.
Mars oil field, right, that night. Yes, that's where we got out, right? No, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all meshing together, but. We finally had to get out. We had to lift our kayaks over this big log and come out the other side of it. And then pretty much from there, it was pretty much smooth sailing for the most part.
We had a few rain trips. We got rained on the whole time, but it was all good. It was in the middle of the summer. I mean, it was nice. The only other thing I'd say about it is all the spiders.
That trip there.
No.
Because the part of the river we were
spiders.
on wasn't very well traveled, so people weren't going through and like Earl goes through from a certain aspect down to his place, and he'll go through with chainsaws and
clean it up.
Stuff and clean it up and make sure it's all nice. But this was untouched.
We didn't see one person on there on that trip.
Yeah, we saw what? No, we didn't see any person. Yeah. So we'd go through, and you'd be coming through this overpass of just tree branches and limbs and stuff,
Like
and
a canopy, beautiful.
If you weren't paying attention, you would come face to face with a banana spider, right? Banana spiders were the main things out there. So we started getting our oars out, and before we'd go through, you take your oar and just kind of sweep the branches to make sure you get the cobwebs out of there. It was horrible, and we saw this. We saw this goddamn. We saw this. What was it? A hornet's nest or?
Giant hornet's nest.
About as big as this trash can right here.
Right in front of you. You're like, ooh.
In a tree.
What? That's like a whole nation of hornets.
Yeah, you go by very.
Oh my god.
Stealthily.
I mean, if you would have not seen that and kind of run into it or something, you would have just been.
Could have been a bad scene.
Attacked. They probably died.
Awful.
And if you were
And
allergic.
in Kentucky, our family has a bunch of 4-wheelers, so they take like an old fishing pole, like rods, and then they bungee cord it to the front. So when you're going down trails, it automatically knocks down all of the spider webs for you. I wonder if you can just... Well, no, because I guess branches change in size, like heights, close to your... So you couldn't do something like that for the kayak.
And where that river is, there's all the storms that are going through there. There's just constantly trees falling in.
Anytime you go down the same route, you might see something different as far as terrain goes. Yeah.
We saw some
with river levels and trees, falling down across it.
Collected some good oyster mushrooms.
We did
that one time.
It's an oyster mushroom. Is it literally just what you think it is?
It's an edible mushroom. They're delicious, actually.
What tree do they grow on? Is it oak trees?
Oaks, primarily.
Yeah, he got just huge oyster mushrooms. But
how do you cook it?
Yeah, you just
like a regular mushroom?
Saute it, use it in stews, chili, whatever.
What does it look like?
It's delicious. Kind of like the backside of it is it grows in clusters on itself. So I guess that's part of the reason I would call it an oyster mushroom. But it's a mild flavor, really good. Mepkin Abbey for a while was growing and selling them after they stopped their egg production.
Yep,
oyster mushroom.
Yeah,
so just
exactly. And
white cluster.
And that cluster that we got looked just like that one.
Yeah. Eventually, guys, we're going to have a TV screen that we'll put up here. And
see that every time.
I know.
Well, it takes time.
Like keep people informed.
Wasn't built in a day. I was trying to put that in there. I was not going to draw any attention to that.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Draw attention to what, Gordon?
Nothing to see here.
These nice stickers.
Little nice, freshly rolled cigarette.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So that's an oyster mushroom. And speaking of this, you're like, every time I've gone out on a kayak trip with you, and other people as well have said, Jesus Christ, Gordon just knows every tree, every bird. We'll be going down the river, and Gordon get mad at me because I'll be talking and just talking shit and doing whatever, and Gordon will be like, shh, shh, shh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Be quiet. Don't say anything. And it's like some bird chirping in the woods, and he'll name what the bird is and what it's doing and what it's all about, whatever. And we'll go through, say, look at this tree, look at that vine, this is this. And your favorite tree is what? A maple tree, right?
The swamp maples are.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Well, they're pretty, especially in the fall because they're orangey and red when they're turning.
Yeah.
So and it's just a pretty leaf,
But you're like a flora fauna expert.
Yeah, I like
where
that.
did you pick that up? Was that something in college, or you just just
growing
an
up
interest
in
you had?
Miami, there was a Dr. George and Alice Williams growing up in Miami Shores, and he was a doctor, and they were big Sierra Club folks, and they had like a conversion van, and he would take off 3 to 4 months every summer, and they would literally drive crazy, like from Miami to Nova Scotia or British Columbia or California, Minnesota and stuff. And so they were big bird watchers. And Miami is the confluence, another again.
There's a lot of
down
those.
at the bottom of the peninsula of Florida, obviously, and there's a lot of birds that are migratory. It's the bottom of the Atlantic flyway, and so you get a lot of birds moving through, moving down into Mexico, Central America, and then back up, and then a lot of accidental type crazy stuff that gets blown from Cuba and the Bahamas over, and so it was a fertile place to do bird watching, and just was given a field guide at a young age and enjoyed it.
Just went crazy, huh?
So a field guide, like a Cub Scout type thing. Were you in the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts too?
I was in. Started with Indian Guides, which was I'm trying to remember exactly what that was, but it was. I remember my Indian name was Eagle Feather, and then Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, and didn't go that far with that, but
yeah, I didn't either.
I was in Royal Rangers. Which I think is
Power Ranger?
Royal Rangers.
Royal Rangers.
I think it was the Christian version.
Well, I mean, Cub Scouts is
yeah,
Christian.
well,
Was
it
it?
really
It's based on
was.
Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was just a different group. I don't know.
Usually they met at churches or something. You know, Boy Scout troops, even today, I think, are generally
Okay then.
places at part of church. It's community and civic function and
Yeah. So it could have been a rival or something, or a branch of something.
Screw the Boy Scouts. We're the Royal Rangers.
although now you can be a girl and go to Girl Scouts or go to Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
It's co-ed?
Yes. Believe it or
Alright.
not, it's hard to imagine.
Cisgender Scouts.
Yeah, they just like the program more than they do the Girl Scout program. So,
I'm confused. I don't know.
Yeah.
well, there's been a lot of confusion here these days.
I know, right? I have a fond memory of them building it. Just, I would say maybe an 8-foot tall bonfire made out of like pallets, and it was just full of other wood and stuff, and just lighting that on fire. It was amazing. I don't think
remember
I've
some
seen
of those, like jamborees. I think they call it
Yeah.
a jamboree, Boy Scout jamboree. Would get, and it'd be a lot of different troops or packs and whatever the hierarchy. Don't really remember it quite as well. Although I do know there's a number of Eagle Scouts in Somerville. It's quite a few, matter of fact.
Yeah, I did Air Force recruiting for a while up in Florence, South Carolina, and a lot of people came in that were Boy Scouts, and they got extra rank when they came into the Air Force because of their Boy Scout status or whatever. So it was kind of cool, and there was quite a few of them. I was surprised.
I mean, to attain the level of Eagle Scout is a pretty big.
It's a big deal.
It's dedication and staying to keeping to something and
it's hard work.
Yeah,
I mean, I know I went to like Weeblo,
Weeblos
status in Cub Scouts, and that was hard enough. I mean, all the projects you had to do, and the reading you had to do, and the check-offs you had to do, and you had to know how to tie knots and how to use a knife and do this thing. There's a shit ton of stuff you had to learn how to do.
I did not make it far at all.
No.
I can't do any of that.
All right, I'm going to give you one Boy Scout story because it was pretty funny.
We did derby racing, with the soapbox cars and shit like that.
Yeah, that was awesome. My dad still has our cars. But let's hear your story.
I had my car.
Well, we were camping out on the Everglades, and I'm trying to remember when it was. I can't recall, but I know that the couple of the fathers went off. They came back with like 8 or 9, 10 dozen chickens and threw them out there and said, "There's dinner, boys."
Oh my god!
Live chickens.
Live chickens.
So you had to chase them down.
We had to chase them down. We had to
like Rocky.
Yep.
No, you literally had to kill the chicken.
Yeah, it's really true. When they cut a chicken's head off, it does run around.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
What?
But then had to dress them and we cooked it.
So you actually cut them off? Because my grandmother used to tell me stories where they would pick up the chicken by their neck and just spin them around.
That's one method, and the other I guess is, of course, we had we're young boys with sharp instruments, man.
You had your little pocket knife.
I had to have hatchets.
Yeah.
You need cool spin move with your hatchet.
But
that
was
guy out there would be great.
But it's something I'll never. We cooked chicken.
That's pretty badass. How old were you?
12.
Holy shit! Okay.
Yeah, I never got that deep. We didn't kill our chickens.
I
don't think we killed anything.
Surprised that
a snake
that happened, but it was in retrospect it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Speaking of snake, this damn I had that.
I know. I heard
voice thing again in my throat that came out. Air escaped or whatever. But we went kayaking with my brother Bruce, and was the first time that he had been kayaking, maybe in a while, maybe ever. I can't remember. But we went out on the Edisto that one time, and he was so scared of just falling out of the kayak to begin with. Dennis was with us, right?
Yeah.
With his daughter, yeah. He was so scared of just kayaking in general.
Dennis got that out of the way.
Dennis got it out of the way.
Falling in right off the rip.
We were 30 yards into the kayak, and he capsized his kayak.
I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh my god! And we waited out. Him and Gordon were kind of behind us, and we're like, "Where the fuck are they? They're not coming." And they took forever to get back. But I guess it takes a while to get all that water out of the kayak and get it back in the water.
There was no place to get it up on the. There was banks on both sides, so I was like, "You're gonna have to swim it down to this spot, so we got it out. Yeah, it was.
Oh my god!
But it, right off the beat or whatever. Right when we started, there was a little bit of a.
There was a little rapid, a little
rapid right there, and it just kind of turned him over.
Okay.
Put him into the woods
There
and
was a
turned him
log
over
that kind
sideways.
of came out, and it kind of got. It started running really fast right there, and it.
Yeah,
But his daughter did really good.
Earl warned us about it and said, "Hey, be careful right here. You got to go kind of to the left and then kind of cut through."
I remember that.
Yeah, and then he didn't go to the left, I guess, and it pulled him into the trees.
Army guy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, shots fired.
But anyway, the story I was getting to is we're what, halfway down the river. I guess we're halfway through the trip, and this damn water snake just comes slithering across the water, like straight at Bruce's kayak, and Bruce was just freaking out and going like, "It's okay, man. It's just the water. It's not going to harm us."
Does he not like
water
snakes?
snake.
I don't think anybody likes snakes, right? Do you
I like snakes.
I like
Really?
snakes. I catch them.
I catch them too.
Well, I don't know.
Remember, I said I used to be, what's his name, Steve Irwin,
Yeah,
because I had a pet snake.
true. Well, I had pet snakes too, but I don't
Yeah.
want one coming at me in the water.
No, that's never fun.
I mean, especially if it's a water moccasin or something.
Aren't
maybe
you okay in a
poisonous
kayak?
or whatever. But
It was like a yellow-bellied
guess so.
water snake or something, but they bite. They
yeah,
bite. They're pretty.
I mean, that shit was
they
coming
got
up
a nasty
fast.
bite, and they got a nasty.
So his
must
first trip,
plan.
he sees Dennis capsize. He sees a snake coming at him. I mean, a whole bunch of things that are kind of scary for
I can see that.
somebody that doesn't normally get out in the water. So it was funny.
Well, at least there were not spiders to add to that, because he probably would never go back.
Man, those spiders.
It's those
goodness.
upper sections up on the South Fork, North Fork. We haven't even been to the North Fork yet.
I can't wait. We got to get up there soon.
Toads my goats.
Toast my goats.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So what's next? I always say that.
Well, I was waiting for you to tell me.
All right. So we're
I think-
we want to open the next beer.
Yeah, this is really good. But it's since we've been drinking all these different sours. I mean, you can't go wrong with that beer, that 2012 Rodenbach. It's still
It's
4.5,
it's
4.75.
the entire
it's
drink
fantastic.
was fantastic. No matter what temperature it got to, it was just. I think it stayed consistent. A lot of times they change, but I think that stayed.
Yeah.
From cold to warm, I think it stayed.
I don't think they go out. They got it down. They do. There's not a whole lot of experimentation in what they're doing. Although they came out with one called Alexander that's supposed to be, which I've had it, but I don't recall. I don't think
I've
it's
had
better
it too.
than this.
It was a little sweeter than.
Yeah,
than this
I
stuff.
think I really like this. And then, so what are we gonna open next?
Well, we're gonna open. And I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna use the same glasses. I don't have
That's all right.
all this glassware
They're
to
all
put on the
Flanders
table. They're all
reds.
sours. We're just pouring them all in the same glass.
The
This is going to be an 18-mile red from
Yep.
Carolina Bauernhaus Ales.
Look at you. So proud.
I know, right? 7.2% ABV, 22 IBUs in this one is listed. Our award-winning modern take on a traditional Flanders red is a native fermented Belgian-inspired sour red ale brewed with North Carolina-grown heirloom Rennes, Abruzzi rye malt.
Abruzzi rye. Yeah.
And fermented in Biltmore Estate wine barrels. The beer has a bright acidity and is filled with dark fruit notes rounded out by oak barrel character. The beer is fermented with a mixed culture strain from South Yeast Labs and our house blend of Brettanomyces.
Brettanomyces. Brett.
The deep ruby red color of this beer is a joy to behold. That's what it said.
A joy to behold.
Right.
Oh, and it's got wax on it. That's
Right.
going to be fun.
It's a Grand Cru, so
we
we're gonna
forgot
have
about
to
that.
we're gonna have to cut this wax off. That's always fun.
That's exactly what Brian said a minute ago. He came up before we started recording. He goes, I forgot
I'm like,
about the
I
wax.
forgot this has wax.
Caleb would love it. Caleb
gonna-
Taylor.
We're gonna
I
cut
know.
into
We're going to have to
this.
start calling him Bizarro on my show.
We're gonna cut into this. Normally, I like to try and do a little
Like an X marks the spot.
cut across the top, but
A little hot water or something. Yeah.
this is not gonna work out very well. But
I just see terrible things happening.
we're gonna get into it.
And this is the base beer of a bunch of adjuncts that they do, like the peach and plum. And
The 18
what else?
mile? Is that what-
Yeah, 18
yeah.
Mile is kind of like their base red ale, and it is good.
Hey,
What do we have? The first time I
Worked out
had
a little
this
easier than I thought.
was at the first Somerville.
Let me take a gander at this. Well,
the
we can do it
Firkenfest.
afterwards. Go ahead, pour it.
What's that now?
The first time I had that was at Firkenfest.
Funky
The
Firkenfest. The
Funky-
first one that we
The
had.
first one that was at
That was 2015.
Oak Road and well, two of the guys, one of the brewers came and brought a number of brought the 18 Mile, brought one with blackberry and one with I think plum, and the plum just
The
plum
red
and
plum.
peach lend themselves to
Yeah, the red plum
this.
is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Really good.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I catch myself saying
pretty
that and I had to stop because I
I know.
immediately think of
I
it.
say it all the time. Buddy of
Smells
mine, I think I told you this. Buddy of mine, Tim.
I thought that was fantastic.
No, that was phenomenal.
Okay.
Buddy of mine, Tim, out in Alaska when I was stationed out in Anchorage, used to say that all the time. And my brother Kevin used to give me a hard time when I'd say it all the time. But
Phenomenal.
yeah, because it was always phenomenal. Had a little essence on it, I guess.
Little essence.
All right. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So we're going to
Liking this.
toast to something else. We always toast to something.
Yeah.
And I noticed, I've been listening back, there's always a hesitation on the toast. Nobody ever knows what to toast.
Well, here's to getting back on the river.
All right.
I
Here's
like
to
that
getting on the
toast.
river. Let's do it.
I mean, we live in such a great spot for it.
Right.
No excuses. Except not owning a kayak.
Barrel
Well, no,
aged
'cause like I said-
sour red ale.
Bro.
I think the Edisto system is the longest blackwater system in like North America.
Yeah, I think we've talked about the longest Blackwater river in North America, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
What'd you think?
I love it.
I think, I love it for sure, but I think it's got a little bit more of a sour twinge to it than the Rodenbach, but I think the Rodenbach is a little more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little more complex. I mean,
Yeah, this
is-
just has sour, but something about the Rodenbach is just, it's got that sweetness, it's got that sour, it's just balanced. I mean, the color, the body is pretty much the same, but there's that sour sweet in the
Well,
Rodenbach.
The
Yeah.
Rodenbach's been doing it a little longer, about 150.
You call it Rodenbach?
Rodenbach?
I call it Rodenbach. You said
Rodenbach.
Rodenbach, right?
No, Bach.
Oh, I thought you said back.
But, yeah.
Only the first
150
will
plus
tell.
years. I mean,
Like Rodenbach?
this is Carolina Bauernhaus,
It's like a
which is
car
in
or something.
Anderson. Really cool place, actually. They have photos and that's one of the things about these beers is they are really in casks or barrels or foeders. Revelry's got some new foeders.
I heard that.
We looked up a photo, right? One night?
Yeah.
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 It's just the next size
It's a
up.
large wooden vessel.
Yeah. Just bigger
Made-
than a cask.
yeah,
bigger than a barrel.
Made with staves, and there's actually a barrel maker, a Cooper, which is a barrel maker in
Someone who makes
Barnwell.
barrels. It's called a Cooper.
Barnwell, South
Someone
Carolina.
who makes barrels is called a Cooper.
That's interesting. I never would have even thought there would be a title for that, but I don't see why there wouldn't be. But where at, you said?
Barnwell.
Which is where? Yeah.
That's southwestern North Carolina, south of 20.
Wait a minute. I typed in Barnwell, and it says it
Or
comes
maybe
up South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. Did I not
You
say-
said North Carolina.
no, South Carolina.
You did say North Carolina.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, that was mistaken.
Barnwell, the city in Barnwell County, South Carolina. Located along U.S. Route 278. Population of 4,750
Yeah.
at the 2010 census. I mean, come on. We're in 2018 here, guys.
It's probably gone down.
You think so?
Yeah.
Established in 1829. We just got all kind of fun facts going on today, and I'm looking them up very expediently. To be
Yeah.
honest, what are you doing over there?
You got it down.
It shut off, so I had to put the new one in.
The new what? The battery?
The new...
Memory card.
Yeah.
What the hell? The GoPro's always been the consistent winner in this show, and now the GoPro is letting us down.
I know, man. I think it's overheating. We may be using it too much.
Well, let's make sure this phone is going too while you're up.
I did.
See, you
It
got
is?
the Ann's shirt on. Something You know who when you ran into me in front of Homegrown,
we always run into you.
And I was drinking that Bull's Sluice, and I said, yeah, that's a name of a rapid.
Right.
And then
Chattanooga, on the Chattanooga River.
On the Chattooga, I think.
Was it? I thought it was on the Chattanooga. But I know what you're getting to.
Chattooga, yeah.
Yeah, Slayton mentioned it and corrected us or whatever.
Well, no, he said it. And it is it is a gnarly rapid, Bull's Sluice. And you can YouTube that and you'll see a lot. Chattooga. Yeah. It's on the North Carolina, Georgia.
Man,
South
I'm all
Carolina
over today.
Border.
I feel good today about my skills. Bull Sluice on the Chattooga River.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
I'm excited.
I know. Usually you give up.
Normally I'm just like, fuck it, it's too hard. I'm not doing it.
Now, is that something that you have you gone
yes, I have.
Down rapids?
Down rapids. That's now where Slayton's doing. Is he part of Nana Hill Outdoor Center, or is he another?
I don't know if he's doing rapids right now.
Another one of those companies.
Last time I talked to him, he was still doing zip line in Tennessee.
Okay, but he's definitely doing rapids.
Is he doing rapids? I don't know if that was just into. I don't know, man. I haven't talked to him. I should.
Nana Hill Outdoor Center is in Western North Carolina, which is
text him.
Yeah,
I'll text him afterwards.
Go ahead.
Nana Hill Outdoor Center. Check it out.
Keep going.
Anyway, yeah, they do have all kinds of wilderness excursions, adventures.
I want to roll.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Rapids.
You've
done rapids. You will do. You enjoy.
Yeah,
rapids.
I have. South Carolina's got some. Well, actually, the Chattooga borders on, in that northwest corner where Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina come together. But I've been on it, and
he's a whitewater raft guide at Paddle Inn Rafting Company.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
There's a bunch of rafting companies up there now. I think that was the Nantahala.
We'll give them a shout out. Let's write that down. Paddle Inn Rafting Company.
I think.
Yeah. But now they're doing zipline tours. They would do. I mean, people canoe them.
I want to do
the same rapids, and also in inflatable boats, and then also in squirt boats or polyethylene. Sit inside kayaks with a skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Got to learn to Eskimo roll.
Yes.
Never really could get that down very well.
I've never done that. I've always wanted to though. Where it's
pretty
kind
cool.
Of roll.
You just got to spend some time on it. Yeah. Because you got to be able to do it under duress. That's the thing.
All right. One thing at a time for me.
Well, I mean that video you showed me of the Bull Sluice.
Yeah.
Those guys were going down. If you didn't hit it nose first into that rapid, you hit it a little sideways. It was flipping you over.
Yeah.
You were going
like
under.
Instantly.
Yeah.
They were like.
It was a pretty bad rapid. It was what, category 5 maybe?
Well, it depends on the flow because it has a bad hydraulic at the bottom of it.
Right.
But
just kind of sucked you in.
Yeah. That now, right by the zoo in Columbia. Why am I blanking on the name of it? But anyway, that is the Saluda River, which is fed from the bottom of Lake Murray, and that series of rapids right there. There's a major fault that runs through there, and that's why you got the rapids there. And there was a mill there at one time. But there's a series of rapids that, depending upon the flow, is there's definitely a 5, and even if it's really high. I mean, there's been people that have. I want to say there's people that have lost their lives there.
What is the highest rapid class? Is 5 the highest?
6 is. I think there is a 6.
Ooh, okay.
Which is pretty much unrideable.
I think most ones that people go on are 3, 4-ish, right?
And then because there's one called Gorilla on the Green River up, and then
let's look it up.
Now the Green is just above South Carolina, right along the South Carolina North Carolina border. That is an exceptionally gnarly rapid. I have not gone on that.
6. Yeah, there's 6. There's Class A, Class 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Class A is just like still just water. Class 6 is extraordinarily difficult, it says.
Uh-huh.
Class 5 is extremely difficult. So extraordinarily is bigger than extremely, I guess.
Yeah, dangerous.
I can't imagine Class 6.
I can't even.
Like I said, I think I've been in 3 and 4. I went up to the Nolichucky River. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Nolichucky, from Tennessee down into North Carolina. And I think it was 3 or 4. but it was intense. It's good.
I thought you were in a kayak or a raft.
No, when I did that one, it was a thing called a funyak. So it was like a rubberized kayak, just like a raft, but it was just a kayak size. So it was single man.
I was making a joke off the intense thing, but that was still interesting.
What were you making a joke of?
You said it was intense. And I was like, but you're in a boat. You're on the river. You can't be in intense.
Gotcha.
And then you actually described something that I had never heard of. So
yeah, it's called a funyak.
They're doing stand-up paddleboarding on rapids now.
Really?
I've seen video of that.
I mean, yeah, I've seen people out at the beach. I mean, same thing. You're just it's waves and
surfing rapids because they're curling back on themselves where you're stationary and you're on a surfboard. I've seen that.
Right.
Haven't done that.
Just
seen
wild.
it. Can
you surf?
I can.
Nice, man.
I enjoy that.
Hope so.
Grew up down in Miami and then down in Florida. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. Never done it. I've always wanted to. But a couple of my uncles are big time surfers, and I've always wanted them to teach me, but never got around to it.
I stood up once,
waves, you know.
and then I fell off.
Yeah.
But I got up there.
Yeah, paddleboard, which is decent enough, I guess, but I know surfing is totally different. But I keep wanting to take my paddleboard out to the beach. I've never done that. I always take it on the river, but I want to go out to the beach and ride some of those waves in, you know.
Yeah.
Got a lot of plans for this summer.
I know.
I know, man. It's
too much. There's not enough time in the day for everything.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? And you have to sleep at some point. And then you listen to Matthew Walker talk about sleep in a completely different way.
Oh, you're talking about the Joe Rogan episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten through that one yet.
I don't know if you listened to it or not.
No, I haven't. I need to. I need to.
So interesting.
It's mind-blowing. I did not realize what I was doing to myself by staying up later and not sleeping as much.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, sleep is I guess as important as the exercise and the cardio. You know, from weightlifting to cardio, sleep is. I guess they're discovering more and more. You got to have it. Body needs to heal, and that's
exactly
physically and mentally.
No, like he had a really good point. Is that your body would not put you through like a caloric intake of any kind, or not intake. You wouldn't be burning calories for no reason. It has to be beneficial, whatever it is that you're doing, because we need calories to function. So I'm like, that's a good point that I never thought about, and we stay up late all the time working on this, and then I wake up because I can't sleep in late. Terrible. 7:30.
Yeah. I still get my 7-8 hours of sleep, but you do not.
Yeah, then I wake up and I come back up here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to work on that a little bit.
But just to give a little shout out, so this is from the Joe Rogan Experience, episode 1109. Matthew Walker. He's a professor of neuroscience and psychology at the University of California, Berkeley, and founder and director of the Center for Human Sleep Science. So that's what we're talking about. Very good episode. Yeah. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes, but extremely interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sleep is super important, it seems.
And what beer did you drink on that one?
I don't think they drink any beer.
Yeah, they don't drink beer usually. Every now and then
they might have smoked some weed. They might have had some whiskey, but they don't drink a lot of beer. I see a couple waters on the table here.
And they have
like a couple maybe Cokes or something.
And stuff.
Yeah, Caveman coffee, Bulletproof coffee.
So,
but I see a big table over here of whiskey, some wine.
This wasn't your episode?
No. This is Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan Experience. No, I wish we'd have.
Oh my God, if we had Matthew Walker on here, that would have been awesome.
Oh my God, I'd shit my pants if we had this guy on here.
Yeah, I think we literally just voiced how much you would have done. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that would not be good for a podcast.
Well, luckily, the listeners...
It's like my dog rolling in freaking dog shit 2 days ago when I took her out for a walk.
Or a dead animal.
Well, we saw a dead animal. We saw a dead armadillo. I think I posted about it. But yeah, it was all splayed open. You could see the freaking spine on the inside of it. I mean, all the insides were gone. Something had ate it. I don't know what it was. Birds or...
You should have kept it and turned it into like a taxidermy.
I could have. I guess.
Could have been
Leia really wanted me to keep it, but I didn't say, no, get away from it.
Eat it later.
Stop it. But yeah, she rolled in some freaking dog shit.
Could have been a hanging pot.
I had to bring her home and
something
give her.
growing in it.
Let's just use it as a show. Oh my gosh, what a great idea. I love your basil.
No,
Thanks.
that's probably.
It's growing out of an armadillo.
Did you turn this air down when you came up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chilly.
All right.
Yeah.
It's actually a degree higher than it normally is.
72.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's cool out tonight. No.
Yeah.
It's cool out tonight.
Yeah, we could bump it up just a couple notches. It's
You
a little cool in here.
I mean, I'm in a freaking jacket, so you know I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But I was talking about this with my brother. I run pretty cold because his fiance.
Yeah. And I mean, I run hot,
Run
just the
cold.
opposite. But
And I feel like most males do run hot, but I am always freaking cold.
I gotta,
Always have a jacket on.
Well, you're super lean.
I got to write down this JRE.
What are you trying to say?
Super lean.
I got a layer of like fur though.
Well, that's true.
I mean, I guess that does play some part into it, but I don't know.
Right. I mean, but I feel like I'm fairly lean now, but I'm still not getting cold. I mean, I still run hot as fuck. I mean, I'm always sweating, no matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm sweating.
I am in the kitchen at homegrown, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just chilling. It's not that hot to me. I don't know.
Cooking food.
It's crazy."
That's right. I like this beer now.
No, it's getting better as it warms up. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, not that it was bad to begin with, but
No.
I think it's kind of getting in line with what we had first off. As it warms up, I think it's kind of getting similar flavor and complexity to it.
Yeah. You mentioned that, what is it, South Yeast Labs or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's a pretty cool thing that what they're doing with all these sours and for all these brewers.
or what?
Yeah,
yeah, Southeast Labs. Yep.
Yeah, that's a you're a Clemson guy, so I mean it's
Oh, is that from Clemson University?
That's where that started, and they clone yeast strains. So I mean, once these guys dial in, a cocktail of yeast for a particular style of beer or whatever, they can get repeatability on it.
Right.
Ooh,
So it's pretty neat.
that is pretty exciting. Is that going to make things less exciting if you can just reproduce it so easily?
Well, I mean, it makes it consistent. I mean, that's one of the things, I guess, with like lambic style beers that are wild yeast. You're going to get a bit of differentiation from batch to batch,
Right.
which I guess is good from the craft standpoint, but you get a bad batch, it's probably not good for the bottom line standpoint.
True. Yeah, you wonder how many have maybe been poured out, or if they just go ahead and release and say, this is just funky. I mean, just deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's got to be some that are just real vinegary and just too messed up to even put out into production. But
It's quite a gamble.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
and especially if you're on a huge barrel system, when you've got to dump all that out versus a 3-barrel or a 1-barrel or even a 10-barrel is still kind of small. And
Still a lot of money.
relative
a lot
to
of time. Yeah. I mean, you brew up 10 plus barrels of something, and it doesn't go right.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's not a good thing.
A lot of
You're gonna have
time,
to
a lot
try
of
and sell
money.
that.
Yeah, you're firing somebody probably, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's probably not. I mean, if you're using wild yeast, you only have so much control, right?
True.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why what they do in terms of the repeatability of certain, cloning strains of yeast and just how they do that from I guess biology and chemical standpoint. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's great. I've got going back up to my brother and his fiance. Amanda, is oh God, what did I text you? Was it a chemical engineer?
I just remember engineer. I don't remember
No,
what kind of.
she works
engineer,
with a lot of GMO stuff.
Probably a
And-
chemical engineer.
Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. And
Yeah, GMO.
I've been
chemicals,
drinking a little bit, so I don't remember too much exactly what she said, but I want to try to get her on the podcast and have her talk about it because she said a lot of people don't understand what she means when she says what she does. And it's like this huge, like weird, like culture that's based around something that she is a part of that is not what she actually does. It's very strange, and I was very interested when I was listening. So
Right. I mean,
It's pretty-
GMOs just become this bad word. So,
Right.
So she wants to explain why it's not really the way it seems in the media type thing?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not what people think it is. I mean, it is and it can be,
I
but...
mean, I think there's a need through chemistry and they're modifying things, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. The same people that don't want to eat, GMOs, they love having perfect giant strawberries or blueberries that are
right. There's a trade-off.
10 times the size of a wild blueberry, So I mean, there is a trade-off.
Yeah.
Can you imagine eating a blueberry the size of an apple?
I mean, the yields are better and all that.
Right, but I mean, I'm keto. Sometimes, most times. But from a keto standpoint, yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time that, people talk about fruits and stuff like this. Well, yeah, fruits are good, but most, our ancestors used to eat fruits when they came into
season.
You didn't have fruit, you didn't have this giant apple all year long that you could get that is 3 times or 4 times the size of an apple that our ancestors ate.
Talking about a Honeycrisp probably, right? Those
yeah,
giant
and
Honeycrisps
they're sweeter, they're
piece.
bigger. And you get them all year long, where it used to be you had a season where you ate maybe those fruits for 1 month, but now you get them all year long, so all this fructose is not good in our bodies. It creates, glucose and insulin spikes and all this kind of stuff. So that's what I think of when I think of GMOs. Although that's probably more of a gene splicing type thing. That's not really a GMO type thing. They're creating bigger fruits and splicing these things together, I guess. I don't know.
They modified stuff like wheat to the point where I'm not sure. It's certainly not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Where,
nothing's what it used to be. I mean, ancient grains, all this kind of stuff. It's all. Yeah. I mean, it's all evolved, just like we have. But has it evolved to be better? No, it's more plentiful. It's more available, but I don't know if it's better for us, per se. And I know we've gotten kind of off the GMO thing, but I'm just talking about foods in general. I had
nothing else to add to it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know enough about
it. Yeah, I mean, I can go out now and wake up in the morning and get a glass of orange juice, 20 ounces of orange juice that is 50-something plus grams of carbohydrates, and it's just... a
lot of sugar.
It's making us fat. It's making us diabetics.
Well, you don't have the fiber from the fruit with it.
You're not getting the fiber
your body
to help pass
doesn't have
that
to
through
work.
your body.
I didn't have to work to break
the body's,
it down.
The juice is just being absorbed now instead of the fiber helping to pass that through our body. And the body just picking up the nutrients that it needs, and then the rest of it just kind of passes out. So it's just all being sucked up into the bloodstream and spiking that insulin.
Jacking you up. Good old breakfast.
Yeah. And then you add all the other stuff to it, the Cheerios and the oatmeal and all these other carbohydrates. You're just spiking everything. And you eat that at 7 o'clock in the morning, and next thing you know, at 8 o'clock, you're taking a nap.
I almost succeeded in going to Waffle House and having an entire keto-approved meal. You get the all-star breakfast, and now you can substitute hash browns for tomatoes.
Yeah.
Which is
I was just telling my brother
delicious.
and his wife Susan tonight that I go to Waffle House probably twice a week, and I get an order of eggs, a side of bacon, and a side of sausage.
When do you do that?
All the time.
I have never
twice a week,
once heard you.
I just said twice a week.
I know, but you have never mentioned that ever before.
No, because you're normally up here doing whatever you're doing. I'm a big B, brainstorming and making notes and looking up.
In the morning.
Looking up guests and trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about. And
are you not a morning person?
Oh no, I am. Like I said, I'm a.
Yeah, I love the morning.
No, this will probably be. This will be usually if I'm not working. This will be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe.
That's right, because you don't wake up in the morning. Yeah. You're sleeping.
Yeah, so it's not a morning thing.
So usually when I think Waffle House, nighttime.
No, I usually do this in the afternoon, and I mean, to get that and get my military discount, it's like $8. I mean, it's so cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
I love Waffle House.
It's good, and they use real eggs. Yeah. It's good. They're not using like egg, substitute or
Waffle
liquid
House
stuff or whatever.
Send us some food.
Let's put that. We'll talk about.
I like that. We'll talk about Waffle
House. Maybe Waffle House is desperate for some advertisement.
I don't know. They're adding alcohol now, or to select places.
At Waffle House?
Way. Yeah.
You're already so inebriated when you go there most times.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't need any more alcohol.
Up.
That's like having alcohol at Taco Bell. That's dangerous.
I think they're doing that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on. Am I really? I feel like I'm yelling. Am I really loud?
It's all right. We're all loud right now, and as long as we're consistent, that's what's important. I found because then
Being
we can
consistent.
just jack it up or lower it all at once.
True.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Taco Bell is the other one that's doing it, and I know for a fact Waffle House is doing it, but it's just very select places. And I think Caleb Taylor was talking about this, that they're shooting for like the hipstery areas where you're gonna have younger kids going there. Maybe not completely already shit faced, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Have you gotten Caleb Taylor on the show yet?
I was just going to mention, we talk about Caleb Taylor and Homegrown every single episode, and he hadn't paid us a penny yet.
Well, we spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, but he hadn't paid us anything, and I don't get any freaking deals when I'm up there.
Oh, he'll throw us a bone occasionally.
But yeah, we've got, what did we decide on? May 10th? Is that what we decided on today? I don't have my phone because it's over there.
2 of these 3 beers tonight were bought at Homegrown.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Both
May
the
10th, right?
Bauernhauses.
We're going to have Caleb Taylor from Homegrown on. I think.
Absolutely.
It's either 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. One of those days. One of those 4 days.
It's not the 7th.
Yeah, we're trying to get him this week, like tomorrow, as a matter of fact, but he couldn't do it because he's working a double, he says. Like, we don't all work a double. He could come in afterwards, but oh well.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, this show might not even come out before he's on, so he won't even hear any of this.
No,
I think we need to release this early. I mean, I think people have been waiting on the Gordon Peters episode. I think it might be.
It's a shame, man.
No,
it's not going to happen.
All right, well,
it's not happening.
That's just my suggestion, but.
You know, speaking of Caleb, I went with him to see Garrett Oliver for the brewmaster for Brooklyn Brewing. Interesting guy.
Okay.
Spoke he's done like over 1,000 tasting dinners, beer, wine. Went over to Great Britain and Europe, and he said that's where he learned, what real cheese, real bread, real beer really was.
Why is it real over there?
Well, I think when he went, which was probably before the craft beer craze here, I think the breads, when you consider, white Wonder Bread or whatever,
not processed.
It's just
whole grain.
I mean, it has a shelf life. I mean, you look at Wonder Bread, and I mean, it's got the crust is sprayed on. It's not actually a crust. It's like literally painted on. It's brown.
All right. Do not advertise Wonder Bread.
Do not advertise Wonder Bread. They're not giving us anything.
Yeah. That is not good
That
stuff.
sounds awful.
Yeah.
And that's what we all grew up on, Wonder Bread.
Probably.
Not probably. That's what I grew up on. I mean, every sandwich I ever had was on Wonder Bread.
I remember eating a few loaves of Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have had Wonder Bread, but
Eddie Murphy had a bit about, he wanted to go to McDonald's, and his mom said, fuck McDonald's, I can make you a hamburger right here. And she put it in between 2 pieces of Wonder Bread.
No!
Yeah.
It's like classes. It's kind of like Angel Food Cake. You can take a loaf of Wonder Bread and probably make it into about that big.
Yeah.
Is it the moment it hits the juices of the hamburger, it just completely shrivels up?
Oh, yeah.
I got soggy bread.
Soggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you had cheese on there.
You never seen that bit from him?
No.
The McDonald's and the Wonder Bread? Oh, we got to look that up.
I don't really... you said Chris Rock, right?
No, Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
Eddie Murphy, yeah.
Well, I'm actually pretty...
Yeah, it was either Eddie Murphy Delirious or Eddie Murphy
was,
Raw. One of those two. I can't remember
both.
which one it was. But
all right, which one? He's in this purple leather...
Yeah, he's in a leather suit. Both of those stand-up specials, he's in a leather suit.
But I've only seen the one with purple.
That's Eddie Murphy Raw.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Good.
Delirious was like a red or a yellow or something. Or
Have you seen, kind of in the same ballpark, Chris Porter?
the guy you texted me the other night?
Did I text you?
I didn't look it up, but you did text me about a comedian.
We watched that back to back, so I don't remember watching it the night before. Yeah, Chris Porter. Have you ever seen him?
Chris Porter.
Chris Porter, no.
One of the funniest stand-ups I've ever watched in my entire life. Twice, mind you. I died laughing.
Live or on TV?
It was on Netflix.
Netflix.
Chris Porter.
Believe me, if I could see him live, I would in a heartbeat.
Netflix.
That would be one of my... Like Tom Segura, you've got to watch Tom's a Girl. I put him in the same ballpark. Cried laughing.
Is it called Ugly? Ugly and angry?
Yeah.
I combined those two words. Just
Yeah, he's dressed
hungry.
up like a...
It's a new word. Hey, man, are you hungry?
You
Yeah.
go to Waffle House or something? I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I don't know if you watch stand-up a lot or not.
I used to. We used to go to stand-up places. Cause
I used to go
it's
down by
hilarious.
Charlestown Square Mall. They had the Comedy Zone down there in the Marriott Hotel. I used to go to the Comedy Zone every freaking weekend.
I would love... we need to find some comedy spots, because I know Melanie does stand-up. What's her last name?
Comedy 99. I don't know what Melanie's last name is.
No, sorry, Melanie.
Comedy 99, I think, is a improv thing downtown or something. Or down
Theater
in North
99.
Theater
yeah,
99.
but it's improv.
Yeah.
I
But
kind
it's
of want to
still
see...
comedy.
It is, and it's very hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I really like going there. And they have beer that you can get.
Yeah, but the Sparrow on Monday nights does
That's
open
what I'm
mic
thinking
comedy.
of. Okay.
Is what Melanie was telling me. So
That's more... I want to see
should check
people
that
have
out.
Sparrow,
like
is that
skits or bits, and you know...
Park
is that
Circle.
Park Circle? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
I want to hear something that someone puts together, spent time on, get a punch on. I don't know.
Did you do a live remote this? Or
I did.
or
Wiseman Brewery.
okay.
yeah, that was
For
good.
a short amount of time, because I got hit with a stomach thing, and I had immediately booked it out of there. Yeah, but
And you don't want to leave your brother again to try and
I
tie
know.
things up
All right,
because
all right. I
he
guess
just
I should-
froze like a deer in headlights.
I get back, and he's like, "Don't worry, man. I'll entertain it while you're gone." Because I was just checking on the name of the beer I was drinking, because I totally forgot what it was.
All right.
And
your brother is Brian. Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I get back, we finish the rest of the video, and we sit down and start watching it, and he immediately starts just dying laughing. Like, what are you laughing at? He's like, watch. When you go to check on your beer, I tell you that I'm going to entertain everybody. He doesn't do a single thing. He just drinks a beer and like looks at the camera once and looks back.
Yeah, sitting like this, and then he just does this, and he kind of does this, and he kind of goes back, and then he does this. Like, he said nothing. He didn't add anything to this
It's so funny.
series at all, which is great. I mean, it added something to it regardless. It was funny.
We laughed so hard about that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But it is amazing how uncomfortable some people get when you put like a camera or something. Which you could tell if you watch our first episode.
Yeah.
I've never really particularly liked the camera, but you know.
Well, it helps that they're very small and in the corner right now.
Yeah, but
Well, and it's just we have conversations all the time, regardless whether we're
When we can
being
find you.
recorded or not.
and that's why we started this whole thing, because we just sit around and have conversations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Have you been up to Wiseman in Winston-Salem?
Nope.
It was a
not
really
either.
cool place.
Which is
and Foothills, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Foothills has
Foothills
got like
Winston-Salem.
sexual chocolate and
Yeah.
People's Porter, and
Right.
they're both
they
really
had
Good stuff.
it was called a berry rosé. I checked in. It was pretty good. It was very light, kind of tart, not too sour, but it was not bad. I don't remember exactly what style it was, because I don't think it was a sour exactly.
At Wiseman?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, you said that
Foothills.
was a Saison, yeah.
Foothills. I had the smooth yet psychedelic at Wiseman. That was good. They had a pretty decent New England IPA. A little bit more bitter, less hazy than I expected, but not bad. Now that we're talking about this and on the subject, I need to bring something up.
All right.
There's a place up there called Horrigan's.
Horgans.
You walk in,
The strip joint?
no, and you give them your card.
I'm a Horrigan.
I know, right? At first I thought it was called Hooligans,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's
good. Is
Horrigan's.
this now? Where is this? Greensboro, Burlington, Winston,
Greensboro.
Greensboro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Downtown Greensboro. Small little area, not too bad. They got a lot of little board games, like we play Cards Against Humanity, but the system is amazing. Because
That's
you
the big
put
thing everywhere
a
right
debit
now.
card on tap, they give you bracelets, and then behind them, there are little like tablet screens up on the wall. And what you'll do is, and they give you the description of what you're drinking, and you go up and you put your bracelet up against a little reader, and then when the light turns green, you pour, and it gives you per ounce how much it costs. It'd be like 84 cents per ounce,
I
and you
saw
can just drink
something
as
like
much
that
as
in
you
Greenville.
want.
Greenville's got some wine bar like that, some swank
Well,
wine
it was
bar.
I was telling
Amazing.
Caleb that...
Where is
'cause he
that
was-
around here?
Yeah, he was telling me about it, and there's one downtown. I can't remember where it is. If my brother was here, he would definitely tell me where it is, but I've been there. You can buy credits on this card. I think it's a card.
See, it's not the
not
same
a bracelet.
thing. See, we each had
But
three...
it's the same thing. You swipe this card and
Yeah.
you get to pour a certain amount of ounces out of it based on the money that you bought
Code
into
reader
the card.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it the beer garden? Bay Street Beer Garden, maybe?
There's
I don't
a
know.
beer garden on East Bay.
I think that's where it is. It's somewhere down there.
I haven't
don't know.
been there
It's
yet
downtown
either.
somewhere.
They
But
do
it's the same
Harry
thing. It's
Potter
a pay per thing and you pour your own beer. We'll look it up real quick.
But I thought that was it was awesome. Absolutely
It's not
fantastic.
because I was there about a week or so ago, and they did not have that.
Really? Okay.
Because how often do you just want, like, yeah, I'm going to have the end of the night, but I just want a little bit of this Imperial Stout. You just get yourself a little bit. It was amazing. I think I had...
That's when I just say, hey, can I have a sample of that and taste that?
I don't know. It was different. I'd have to sit and wait for anyone. I could just walk up, get my beer anytime I wanted to. I could pick and sample whatever I wanted to. I don't know. It was so much easier. Plus, if you think about it, tipping-wise, you don't have to worry about tipping a bartender. You are the bartender.
Yeah.
That's one place I haven't
not look
been.
that up. I wish I could phone a friend right now. Put my phones over there.
I want to go to Fontaflora. I have not been there.
We were just talking about that tonight. Kevin and I, my brother. It's a great spot. You never knew what you're going to get down there, but you would like it because they use. It's called Fontaflora. Obviously, they use a lot
like the name.
of. They grow their own locally grown herbs and Fontaflora. I mean, not Fontaflora.
The fruits are all local.
Ground vegetables,
and stuff.
root
Yeah.
vegetables like beets and carrots and all this kind of stuff. And it's really funky stuff that they put in their beers. A lot of sours, a lot of saisons, farmhouse type stuff.
Yeah.
They do some IPAs and stuff too, but really funky things. And you never know what you're going to get when you go in there. It's a very quaint, little small, probably about triple the size of this room maybe.
They just moved into a big tasting room and something.
Another place?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, this
at
is
the
in
same,
Morganton,
It's not at the same. Yeah,
North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah. And I've been there numerous times. I go up to Boone, North Carolina all the time to go skiing and whatever. And I'll drive back through Morganton on the way home and hit that brewery. And it's phenomenal. I like it a lot.
Phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. I normally come back on a Sunday. They open at noon. I'll slide in. They're really good.
While I'm pausing, everybody, see how I did that? You guys want to take a quick pee break?
Yeah, we can do
Are
that.
you paused?
Not yet, but I just want to make... is that a good time for everyone? Did you have anything else you want to add?
I could probably do that.
I could do that.
Cool, because I know I have to pee. So.
Okay.
We will be right back.
Right.
And we're back talking about Blue Sphere.
Wait a minute. Are we back that quickly?
Evidently,
Yeah, we're
we are.
back.
Yeah, so a little break we took there, and what we were talking about, I was looking up on Facebook, and I saw that I had a notification. Scotty Oliver invited me to Blue Sphere, which is Blue Sphere is basically the Scotty Oliver band, which is fantastic in and of itself, with the lead singer Tommy Altair fronting that band. So it's called Blue Sphere. Just saw them last night at the Windjammer. They did a charity event for the Children's Foundation, Children's something.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was a fundraiser. 40 Mile Detour was there, Blue Sphere, a bunch of other bands. I think there was 8 or 9 bands. They played 20-minute sets apiece. It was fantastic. There was a lot of people there. They raised a lot of money, I think. Blue Sphere rocked it out. I mean, it's the first time I've seen them in a big venue like that. I've only seen them at places like Homegrown Brew House and some at Family Laurie's Brew Pub one night. But very good. So anyway, they just sent me an invite. I guess they've got a new website. So Blue Sphere is the name of the band. I guess they're on Facebook and Instagram now, I think, because I saw them on Instagram earlier today as well.
They're playing Coastal Coffee Roasters next?
June 9th. Exactly. June 9th.
Nice.
Coastal Coffee. That would be the first time there. I've been trying to get Scotty there for almost a year.
Wow.
And when I first contacted, I don't remember who I contacted. It might have been Danielle, might have been Brad. Somebody there at Coastal Coffee said, "Hey, I got a band that I would like to play there," and they were like, "We're booked out till November." And this was probably in April of last year. And they said, "We're booked out
They're that
for
far
the next
in
6
advance?
months." Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, "Okay, well, whatever. You can't get in there. Sorry, guys, they're booked up." But I guess they're in there now, June 9th. Probably 7 to 9 is the normal concert times, right?
Yeah, last time I was there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at right now.
Cool.
That'll be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's just
what a pro, man. Doing all that without
up.
headphones.
What's that?
I said, what a pro. You did all that without headphones.
Yeah. And I heard myself perfectly.
I'm glad your ears work.
I was right in my head. So I'm going to write that down. We got a lot of notes today. And speaking of that, you gave Richard a piece of paper last time he was in.
Yeah, he didn't write any notes.
The episode released this past Friday. He said he was going to take notes, and that was a blank piece of paper when he left.
Yeah, I just ripped out a piece of paper for no reason.
Richard was going to take notes?
We made fun of him having notes.
He was fucking with me, is what he was doing.
What was he going to take notes on?
These guys fucked with me a lot during that episode, to be honest. I saw them kind of giving each other looks like, we're fucking with Brian. They were messing with me a little bit. I caught on to it. I'm no dummy, but that was one of the things that they
caught
did.
on to it.
You don't know what you're talking about, man.
I had this notepad, so Richard said, I'm going to take some notes on Brian. And he didn't take any fucking notes.
I was kind of hoping he would take one note.
He didn't take any notes. I mean, maybe he did.
It was just thrilling conversation. That's why.
I spelled that wrong.
Blue sphere?
Blues.
Sphere?
Sphere. All right.
Is that the Earth?
Yeah. And June 9th.
Move under my feet.
CC. All right. I'm going to have to turn the page, guys. Look at that. Bam.
All right. We need to turn the page on another beer, too, I think.
Big
All
thing.
right. Well, let's finish these up.
That's what I'm talking about,
That's
Gordon.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
What'd you say on Richard's episode? Drink that shit.
Oh,
bitch,
I
or
said,
something like
I'm
that.
not trying to rush you, guess, but drink that shit. That's because it was past 2 hours.
Right.
We had already talked about starting or opening the third beer.
Here, I'll read that one. Let me see that.
All right. Well, he's
I
going
like
to.
that.
Let me just
Okay.
look
Well, you
at
get your pictures after he reads it.
that. Yeah, you have to see. Oh, yeah. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's...
I don't either, so I'm glad you're reading this one because I was looking at
Not-
this name and I'm like, I'm not
not-
German at all.
Well, not...
Or Belgium, I guess.
Sauerkirsche, I guess.
You
Not-
could,
It's a sour stout with cherries.
you can
but
ask
it's,
Google to pronounce it for you.
No, I don't like Google.
Okay.
This has got a good detail. We've fermented, aged, and soured our imperial stout in regional bourbon barrels for nearly a year before blending in freshly brewed stout.
Ooh, it's got stout in it?
Yeah, it's a sour stout.
Oh, it's a sour. Okay, so it's, I thought it was a sour and they added some stout to it. So, okay.
We further aged this rustic, refined ale on a massive amount of tart Montmorency and Rainier cherries. The result is a dark, sour ale that has powerful notes of cherry and just a hint of malt sweetness on the nose that entices you to take another sip of this dark beauty. Nice.
Well said.
The flavor is an explosion of bright tart cherry, dancing with subtle coffee and chocolate notes of the base beer.
before fading into a dry, slightly sour finish. I just thought we'd finish that together. But
Oh, because it's...
I got it right here.
Is that Untapped?
Yeah, same
Yeah, they
description.
did. They do a good job of putting the details in, unlike
yeah.
some other breweries in
Yeah.
the state that do a poor job of doing that. 10.2% alcohol.
Same. think.
Bottled 10,
Yours cut off
15,
too?
18.
No, I think I didn't I didn't restart it. I don't think
Bauernhaus
No, it's gone.
or Haas.
it is gone.
I hit it a while
Okay.
back.
All right.
But
It's-
why did this stop?
And it's got cherry blossoms on the front. It's
I don't
pretty
know.
cool.
Like I said, the GoPro was our one consistent thing in this whole process, and now it's failing us.
Now,
We need video equipment, guys. If anybody has any, they want to donate.
gone.
If they're selling it on the dirt cheap, if you know somebody that's got something,
you
please
should
email us.
You should open that as he's doing that.
Please email us at
No,
Craft
no.
Conversation. Hey,
Huh?
I have to film it.
oh,
Not him opening it. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
taking the wax off.
The wax off.
if anybody has any film equipment, please email us at craftconversationspod@gmail.com. Hit up our website at craftconversations.com and leave us a message. We need to find some video equipment that is consistent, that is reliable, that will do the job.
Yeah, so they're going to find out on May 18th when they actually listen to this. What the fuck? It already died.
Is it the battery?
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably.
We'll put another battery in.
That one's... I don't think it's going to work. I think that one's dead too.
All right, we'll plug your phone in over there.
You're using my phone stand, motherfucker.
I'm sure we can figure it out somehow.
Yeah, we just keep your phone and hope shit happens.
I mean, if anything, you could put your phone right here and just
Don't tell me what to do. I'm
Guys.
trying to convince my buddy who actually went to school for filming and stuff to come help us.
Come help you out?
Yeah.
They'll lend you a hand?
Fucking I hope so.
Well, this is not going as well with this bottle of wax right here.
I know, man. It's.
I hate it.
I gotta admit, it's a pain in the neck.
Should get a better cutter, don't you think?
No, the cutter is great. This is straight from Axel One. I'm not supposed to say that, but I said it anyway. Because I think I got enough edge right there. Let's do it. Here we go. You ready, guys?
Yeah, drum roll, man.
Bam!
Oh, yeah.
We got it. That was some hard wax right there.
So sour.
I now
stout.
feel Caleb Taylor's pain during our Somerville Underground
Can I see the front of it?
Yes.
brew sessions when he has to open the wax bottles.
Oh, yeah.
It really sucks.
Also, that's what
Really
she said.
does. It just doesn't add anything, as he says.
There's no need for the wax. I mean, really, guys, come on.
It's just-
Let's be done with the wax. There's absolutely
Beautiful design.
zero.
Every single one of their bottles, I
Yeah.
love the label,
That's a good.
everything. Well done. All right, let's see what this thing looks like.
All right. Well, look at this label. All right. Oh, we got Gordon Peters first.
GP.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot darker than what we had before.
Oh yeah. This is so
And
good.
I'm definitely giving people more, I think. This is a heavy bottle, though, so I'm not quite sure how much beer is in here. We know I have problems. pouring
500
beer, guys.
milliliter. They went to those. Maybe a little.
All right, so we're going to hit
Top them off.
GP up here.
Oh yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
And we'll hit CQ and BD. I got nothing.
My brother's initials are BD.
Really?
Brian Dickey.
All right,
Oh, wait.
fun facts.
What was your Indian name? Indian feather?
Eagle feather.
Eagle feather.
Indian feather. Indian feather would have worked too.
We had to make these little leather vests. It was crazy.
Oh,
All right.
seeing
All
little
right,
GP
look at
and
that.
all
Toasting
man.
to the third sour of the night. And it's 10.2%. It's a stout. It's going to be delicious.
It is fantastic.
Ooh, smells good. What do you get on the nose? I'm trying
I'll
to
tell you
figure
what.
out.
I think it's some.
What do you get?
Dark cherries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a hard time smelling flavors.
Oh, do me too.
Maybe
But I-
some raisin or
But
something?
I try.
Yeah, like fig.
Or fig.
Might be fig.
So
Figs.
good. I like that. That's spot
Yeah.
on.
I can't
Like
smell
dried fig.
It is so good. And this is about the third or fourth time I've had
wow.
this. I think it's my favorite, and it gets better when it opens up.
I bet. I mean, that roastiness of the stout is going to come through
This
once
needs
it
to
warms
get
up.
like room temp, and it is
Man.
the bomb.
Oh,
All right,
my
everyone,
God.
put it in your crotch.
I think it's the best sour I've
And
ever had.
As a
honestly.
stout, it's
Wow.
as a stout, it
Right
is
now.
significantly more sour than the first two beers that we had.
Oh,
And
yeah.
both of those
And
were
it's
Flanders
bigger
Reds.
too, and it's
No, it's bigger, but the sourness is much more tart.
Yeah,
Tart.
it's got more body too.
It's like when I said jet fighter in that one episode.
Nope. I don't
Sounded like
remember
George W. Bush. I don't know.
that. W.
Ooh, man. Aged soured imperial stout.
Kind of like that. Has all
For
the
a
good
year.
stuff.
Nearly
good
a year.
things.
What does nearly a year mean?
Well,
Does
nearly
that mean
a
6
year.
months?
Not
Is
quite.
that 9
No,
months? Is
I
that
would say-
11
I would
months
say it's
and
probably
5 days?
between 11 and 12 months.
Yeah, I mean,
I would
what is,
say-
what is the definition of nearly?
I was going to say 10 and a half or more.
10 and a half. Where'd you come up with that fraction?
Well, I thought 9 was too low. I was going to say 10, but I'm like, let's just go in the middle.
Yeah, I want to know now. What does nearly mean? Nearly a year.
Are you going to Google it?
I don't know how to even
I don't
start to
think you
Google
need
that.
to
Is that
Google that.
subjective? Like, different per person? Or is that objective that I'm trying to say?
Well, it's,
Nearly.
Not
Very
very
close
precise.
to or almost.
there you go.
That doesn't tell me anything. Because 10 months could be very close
If you look up almost a
12.
year, does it tell you nearly a year?
I don't know. All right, I'm done with that tangent.
Good.
He said good. Fuck. Last time I had Gordon Peterson.
Oh, that's a lie. I'm surprised that this is your. Well, I guess I'm not.
I think Gordon would
I don't
probably
know.
be a regular guest, right? Maybe.
Maybe.
As difficult as that sounds like it may be, I like the idea.
No, because especially during the summer, we'll all be doing stuff too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. I'm getting ready to go back. I'm going to Miami sometime this month. Going to do some offshore fishing, probably some free diving, some spear fishing.
I could not get in the water.
So do you deep sea dive? I mean, do you have your certification for diving?
Yeah, but I don't.
When you say free dive, what is the difference between that and like
diving.
deep sea diving?
Well, I wouldn't. Tank diving is with you have an air source. Free diving it's one breath.
Okay, so you have no equipment. I mean,
No
you got some
equipment.
goggles. and that's about
Unencumbered, yeah. Mask, fin, snorkel, probably a weight belt.
it. Okay, a snorkel too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been snorkeling, so this is just a level greater than snorkeling before diving.
It is snorkeling. I
What's
would consider it
the
snorkeling.
depth
Okay.
generally?
Anywhere
30 meters.
from. Typically, it's going to be
But
12.
How long you can hold your breath?
12 to 30, 40 feet.
Good
Yeah.
point. I guess that makes a lot of sense.
But then you also got pressurization, right? I mean, how far can you go down before?
With
Yeah,
one
like
breath, you
lung
can go
problems.
as you don't, because
There's no
you
compression problems
took the
or-
breath from the surface, and as you're going down every 33 feet, you're compressing.
Okay. What's the point where you can't go any further? Where you got to be in a vessel or something? Do you know?
I think from a free diving standpoint, you as far as you can go. Now,
I mean, I know
with
like
tanks,
the
there's
waterproof
deep,
watches
there's
and stuff,
deep
like 30
diving,
meters.
yeah, but I don't know. It's not
Yeah,
something
don't talk over
I'm
each other.
doing. Oh, are we talking?
I don't know who to listen to now.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, when you got a watch that's waterproof, it usually goes to like 30 meters or something,
Yeah.
right? So is that like the limit? Is that why?
Well, I think he says you
is
can
that-
go literally as far as you can actually go.
Yeah.
You can't go
But there's-
past the limit that you can't go because you can't.
But
do
there's
it.
not a human physical limit.
No, they actually have this thing called a mammalian reflex or something where your whole everything slows down. Your heart rate, everything, the deeper you go. And that's like what
Let's look.
cetaceans, dolphins, whales, that they all have that.
Interesting. I wonder.
You checking that out?
I'm interested now. Here we go. How deep can a human go underwater without equipment? The current world record of no limits apnea free diving is 214 meters, 702 feet. What? This involves a weight that will take the diver down
A sled.
and assist him to bring them up. The diver holds his breath from the moment he leaves the surface to the moment he returns to the surface. So 214 meters, 702 feet. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's way freaking down there.
Look up mammalian reflex.
No, I'm done looking up stuff.
Oh,
Because I don't even know how to spell that. So
mammalian.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it.
mammalian.
MMALIAN.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Is there two L's maybe?
Like mammal.
Diving reflex. Okay. all right.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
How do you spell it? Someone tell us.
The diving reflex, also known as the diving response, and mammalian, so like mammal, Ian,
Yeah, is there two M's?
two M's.
Is there two
Like
L's?
mammal. Like
One
the
M.
mammal.
Okay, I had it right the
Mammal.
first time. That's what I wanted to know.
All right. Okay. The diving reflex, also known as the diving response, and mammalian diving reflex, is a set of physiological responses to immersion that overrides the basic homeostatic reflexes, which is what you were saying, and is found in all air-breathing vertebrates studied to date.
Is there a benefit to that? Like why?
Diving deep.
I mean, I guess it's just a survival.
Is that
Yeah.
what happens? Your body just kicks into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
That is very interesting,
Yeah.
actually.
There are other things that our body does, but I don't. There's one specific.
Yeah, because it's like physiological. I mean, it changes.
Yeah. It's a protective response that says, okay, you're fucking going deep.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna slow down.
We got to slow it down.
Yeah, I like that.
Running
That's
on
very
low
cool.
power.
Very, very cool.
No, that happens when you get. Well, I was gonna say that happens when you get cold too, but
I think it does. I mean, there's physiological responses when you get cold, shaking and things like that to produce body heat to kind of warm you up. I mean, things that it does to protect you from freezing to death, I guess.
it's cool.
For a little while, at least.
Right. I think Matthew Walker on that sleeping episode with Joe, he talked about because your heart and everything slows down, it allows you to sleep easier. Like it's harder for you to sleep in a warmer setting than it is in a colder setting.
Right. Normally people tell you to go to 68 degrees or something, right, for sleeping temperature. It's colder is the better. You get a more productive, deeper sleep. I know I can't sleep when it's hot.
Yeah, your house is an ice box.
That's because I turn it back up when I get up, but
That's true. Actually, I will say my brother's house was way colder than yours, so.
I'd keep it cooler if it wasn't so expensive.
Oh, amen. Understand
Aren't you
that.
glad?
If I didn't have to pay the bill, I'd turn it down a little further.
We'd all be just like walking around in like Eskimo outfits.
Yeah.
Or I would
Parkas.
be. Brian would be in a Hawaiian t-shirt. It feels great.
So
I knew you were going to say so. And I also knew you had no topic to lead with after that.
I do, but I have two, but I didn't know which one to use. So your wife, Diane, right? What does she do? She babysits dogs. She adopts dogs. I know she's a realtor. That was the other direction I was going to go, but
She likes that. Rover.com.
I mean,
She loves dogs, so
So she just babysits dogs.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that? Do you like it? I mean, I know the couple times I've been to your house, there's always different dogs running around. Because you have two of your own, right? Or three of your own.
2 beagles and Wolfie.
Yeah, Wolfie. I love Wolfie. I like them all, actually.
Which is a wolf?
He's like a street dog. Diane rescued him.
Gotcha. So it's like
But every time I've been over there,
he just came around.
Every time I've been over there, there's different dogs roaming around the house, and they're all great and cute and whatever. But so
She loves it.
when you got how long you been married to Diane?
Be 4 years coming up.
Okay, so was she doing that when y'all met, or this is something new that she's taking on?
No, but she's always rescued. She rescued dogs. I think when we first started going out, she had like, I don't know, 5 or 6. It was great. Yeah. It was just like, wow.
5 or 6 that she had rescued and she owned, or she was still babysitting?
She had 3 of her own beagles and Wolfie, so she had 2 other, and then one was kind of like a basset, walker's kind of hound thing, and then,
And then, so, do you guys always have other dogs in your house?
Not
or
all the
sometimes
time.
It's just the 3 dogs that y'all own?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's interesting or not.
Most
I think it's interesting.
Well, that's cool.
'Cause I thought about doing the same
that
thing.
Rover.com was
Yeah,
pretty
'cause
cool.
you told me about that site.
People the pet industry, people love their dogs, and, they're...
Yeah. Because you can do it both ways on Rover.com. You can ask other people to babysit your pets, or you can have
they have
babysit other people's pets. You can go to their home, or they can bring their pets to you, right? So, I mean, it's like a whole big ball of wax thing. It's a whole nother business out
They have
there.
meet and greets. Bring the dog, see if they're it's like,
Okay.
people don't want to just leave their dogs with anybody. So Diane is like, everybody wants to leave their dog with Diane.
Yeah, why not? Of course, yeah.
She loves them.
Brian, please do not do that. You are never here during the day.
Well, I mean, that's a funny story because I did that one time before you moved in. It was just me and Tommy, and or Tommy and me. I don't know. I never know what it is.
It's not Tommy and me.
It was just me. So it was just Tommy and me. And Diane had rescued a dog named Shy, and she put it out there on Facebook, I think, and said, looking for somebody to take this dog in or something. I said, hey, you know what? I got plenty of space. I got a dog that needs a companion, so please let me try it out. I'll see how it works. Brought the dog over. Very energetic. It was not a puppy, but it was a couple years old, maybe. I don't know.
What? No, I think it was more of a puppy.
Was it more of a puppy? Maybe it was more of a puppy. And I thought I could handle it, but at the time I was still working my government job, so I was working, 8-hour days, 5 days a week, sometimes even more than that. Tommy was doing his thing, and we just didn't have time to take care of this dog. And the dog came in. We may have talked about this in another episode, I don't know, but
I think you just told me yourself.
Might have just told you. Chewed up a couple of remote controls, chewed up a pair of shoes, chewed up a pair of flip-flops, chewed up
chair,
some headphones.
Oh, the chair.
Couple chairs.
Chewed up 2 different chairs.
That's right.
Chewed a little bit at the bottom of the carpet down here at the bottom of the studio. What else?
She was an athlete, man. Whew.
Which wasn't the biggest deal. The biggest deal is when I'm at work one day and I get a text from Gordon that says, "Hey, your dog is loose," or it might have been Diane. One of you texted me and said, "Hey, your dog, Shy, got out." Their number was on the tag, so that's why they got called. So they had to come out and kind of corral the dog. It had burst through one of the boards in the fence.
It come to the board.
Yeah. Well, that one, the whole board had broken down, I think, right? The whole board just came loose, like the nails were bad or whatever. So Gordon came out. They put the dog back, got the dog, found some nails in the garage, and nailed the board back up.
Oh, my gosh.
A week or so later, a couple days later, I don't know, I get another text. "Hey, Shy's loose again."
I know, man. I was all right.
She had escaped from another portion of the fence, and it looked like the board had been broken, like it had just ran at the board and rammed it, and said, "Let's see what board will give, so I can get out of this fucking yard." So twice she escaped, and finally I just said, "Look, I can't take care of this dog anymore. It's too time consuming. It's chewing up everything in my house. It's escaped twice. I don't have time to be leaving work and coming back and forth trying to corral my dog." So I had to give it back to you. And they eventually found...
And we took it back.
Yeah, took it back. And I kind of wish I would have stuck it out at this point. But anyway, gave it back, and Diane found a nice home for it downtown somewhere, right? Downtown Charleston. So not it, her, Shy. So that's my story. I don't even know... How did we get on that story?
That was pretty good. You asked about
watching dogs.
the Rover.com.
Yeah. So I tried to help her out with a Rover-style transaction, and it didn't work out. I just couldn't handle the dog. I didn't have time for it, but it's good. So what do you got right now? You got dogs at the house now?
No, just the 3 right now, and but I think she's got a couple lined up for this week.
Yeah. And when I started doing the Uber thing, I started looking at that Rover thing as well. I was going to do Uber, and I was going to dog sit, and my plan was to dog sit at people's houses, like over in Mount Pleasant, like these fancy... I used to date a girl over in Mount Pleasant. She did the same thing. She dog sat for people in their houses. And when I was dating her... Yeah,
Diane's has done that.
I went to some of these houses in Mount Pleasant off of the water and stuff like that. Oh, my God. These houses were amazing.
Right.
And, I mean, just to go over there and just sit in their house for 2 hours and chill out, feed the dog, maybe pet him a little bit, let him outside. I mean, good Lord. To make money and to be in these people's houses, I thought was gold.
Why didn't you do it?
I just never got around to it. I was Ubering and working at Coastal and doing different things. And I mean,
you Ubered for like a week, though.
Nah, I did a little bit more than that.
2?
Maybe 2.5. Like that. But I got onto the website and started the sign-up process, and I just decided I didn't want to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, what kind of sign-up is there to watch?
Richard did that.
Rover thing?
No.
The Uber?
Uber.
Yeah. He still does it occasionally too.
Does he still?
I think.
I don't think he's done it in a good while.
Okay, maybe.
But he lasted a few months, I believe.
Yeah.
It was so funny. He was very professional. Well, he was in a different way than you. You set up like a whole business.
Oh, I had a whole business plan, and
he just like drove around with like waters, and I don't know. I liked it. It was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I had fun with it. I mean, I don't know. It was very time consuming, and once the newness, because the newness of it was, man, I'm seeing all these great parts of the city that I've never seen before. I grew up here, and I've never seen these streets. I've never seen these roads, whatever. So it was nice to kind of see new parts of Charleston and even Somerville, Goose Creek, Hanahan, whatever. And then just the same thing we're doing here, just having conversations with people was a blast. I mean, because it's not like a taxi. I mean, most people sit, if it's one dude or a girl or whatever, most people sit in the front seat with you. So you're having a conversation with those guys.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And they had the option. I mean, some people would sit in the back, but the majority of the time,
immediately gone to the back.
People sit in the back. You know, if you got 2-3 people, they'll go into the back or whatever. But just having these conversations with people and people from all over the world was the fun part. You know, they come in from all different parts of the city, some people from overseas, and just to have conversations of why they were there, what they were there to see, and who they were there with, and when they were going back. Just all these things were exciting and interesting. And then once I saw all the little hidden spots and I talked to a few people, it got kind of old. And I'm like, man, this is
don't feel
a
like
pain in the ass
it became a job.
Sitting in rush hour traffic and sitting on the interstate and sitting, you know, people are waiting to get somewhere and you're like, sorry, what can I do? You know, traffic, or what can I do? The street's blocked off downtown because every freaking street in downtown Charleston is under construction. So, and you're having to GPS around obstacles. It got to be a pain in the ass. And the money wasn't good enough to warrant that time.
I totally understand that.
It's a long rant.
I can't. Yeah.
I said a lot and said nothing.
Hey man, that's cool. I asked the question.
Yeah.
I think it was a solid answer.
So let's see what this beer is doing right now.
I think the cool thing about that though is for the people who actively do it, it's a good way to kind of get your own car and pay it off pretty quickly if you can dedicate the right amount of time.
Right. You can even lease a car from Uber.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
It is so in the sweet spot right now, as we
There's a lot of depth to it.
I mean, it is right now. It is the perfect balance of flavors, complexity, body, temperature. Everything is just at the perfect spot to me right now.
It's fantastic.
I almost want
another bottle.
Yeah,
oh.
I know. It's one of those.
It's
where
too
you just
small.
Like, that's definitely on another bottle. But I was thinking maybe just I don't know, like a cherry dip, like a chocolate cherry.
Okay.
I just want to eat one of those and drink that at the same time.
Or just have a little piece of chocolate.
Or a little anything really.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know, give that extra boost for no reason, just because
I got some pickled asparagus.
Add some more
That's about all I can offer you right now.
Add a little
Thanks,
more
man.
acidity to it.
That's exactly what I was asking for,
I mean,
actually.
you know, that little sour vinegary might be good. I don't know.
No, that sounds disgusting. Get out of here.
Okay. All right. It's an offer.
It's a
it's on the
different
table.
kind of whatever. Get out. I'm not eating that.
So what else?
I don't know.
I mean, it's about that time to wrap it up in the carpet because it's at 2 hours.
It could be.
Could be for the first time.
Yeah.
No point in going too long.
I mean, there's no I mean, the conversation ended.
Enjoy the rest of this stout, man.
I think that's a great plan because it's been a really good episode.
I think so too. We talked about a lot of interesting stuff. I
All
think
the
it was
hyperbole.
very educational.
Yeah.
Follow it up, man. You did a good job, buddy.
All right. Good.
Excellent.
All right, Gordon. Thanks for coming. To everyone else.
Enjoyed it. Appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.